Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
A 34-year-old man is missing and police need your help finding him. A local mom wants to find the driver who hit her son, saying he's shaken up and injured. Plus, it might not be what you want to hear. The CDC's recommendations on trick-or-treating. Valley News Live at 5 starts right now. Breaking news tonight. Fargo police are asking for your help in finding 34-year-old Craig Melton. Here's his picture. Craig was last seen on Thursday, September 17th in Fargo in his red 1999 Saturn SL with Oregon plates that read 653 KYU. Police say Craig had two unidentified men with him at that time. Craig was reportedly giving the men a ride to Belcourt, North Dakota, and he hasn't been heard from since. He is described as 5'11", 200 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing jeans and a T-shirt. If you know where he could be, you're asked to call Fargo police at this phone number, 235-4493. A woman says her son was hit by a vehicle in South Fargo while riding his bike to school. She called our whistleblower hotline because she says the driver didn't call 911 and her son nearly broke his back. Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero spoke to the mother and looks at other incidents at that intersection.
Jessica Gores says her 16-year-old son rides his bike often to South Fargo High School where he goes for the exercise. But he may take a break after a serious accident that caused an elbow fracture and several cuts and bruises to his back and arms.
When he got hit, he flew on the gentleman's hood. Then the gentleman realized he was on the hood, slammed on his brakes, and he went flying off and landed on his back. If it wasn't for his backpack, it would have been a lot worse.
Gores tells us her son Jaden was crossing from the north side of 25th Street South and the Interstate 94 exit at around 7:35 Monday morning. The sign reportedly said walk, and that's when he rode his bike. But what she describes as a newer type SUV was not looking in her son's direction, crashing into him.
I think there should be some type of actual video camera up at this busy intersection. So actually something like this happens, there's a recording of it.
Gore says the problem, and I saw it as well, spending 30 minutes standing here, is that cars coming off the interstate trying to turn onto 25th Street South oftentimes just look left, not right. We looked on online crime data for Fargo PD and just saw one incident in that area in February for drunk driving. Police tell us a 16-year-old refused an ambulance being called at the scene. Gore says it was not until her son arrived to school when his body began hurting. He was allegedly high on adrenaline and did not know what to do in such a situation.
No information was exchanged, and my son doesn't unfortunately remember the make or model of the car. All we know is like a gray or white.
She says drivers should start looking in both directions. In Fargo, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
The North Dakota Department of Transportation has cameras on top of several highway exits around Fargo. However, none are live and they just take still photos. As we mentioned, this story came to us through our whistleblower hotline. If you need help with an issue in your area, give us a call, 237-6576. These beautiful summer days won't last forever, summer-like, I guess. So we're making the most of this Tuesday, right? I bet this evening looks great too. Let's find out though and check in with Hutch to find out. Hutch?
Andrea, thanks so much. What a gorgeous start to the fall season. And in fact, we have some hot and summer-like temperatures. In fact, if you would ask me yesterday, hey, will Moorhead get to nearly 90 degrees today? I would say, well, if they do, I'd eat my hat. But they are 88 degrees, 85 in Fargo at this hour, and we have 80 out in Bemidji as well. Here's a look at a cool front way up to the north. It's going to be heading our way. It's going to bring some change to many of our counties as early as tomorrow morning. But for now, we'll stay in the 70s, and then after sunset, we'll dip into the 60s. The wind fairly light for most areas today as we get a chance to take in some gorgeous fall colors and summer-like temperatures. I'll have details on some big-time Wednesday changes, some rain, some wind, and much cooler air for some on the way. Your forecast in a few minutes.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Hutch. New for you now at 5. Body cameras are coming to the Clay County Sheriff's Department. Sheriff Mark Empting says this will be a great way to be transparent with the community and hold his deputies accountable. Despite media reports from other outlets, Sheriff Empting says the videos from body cameras are not private and will be available upon request. A Minnesota man is seriously hurt after getting pinned between a pickup and a loaded silage wagon. The Stearns County, Minnesota Sheriff's Department says the accident happened near Albany on Saturday. Deputies quickly learned that a 58-year-old man was pinned between the pickup and the wagon and had serious injuries to his legs. We don't know yet his condition. Grand Forks police released this morning that it was a 71-year-old woman from Manville, North Dakota, who died in a crash that happened on September 16th in Grand Forks. Charges are not expected for the other driver. North Dakota and Minnesota's latest COVID-19 numbers have been released. Today, North Dakota is reporting 266 new COVID cases. That's a daily positivity rate of 9.14%. Over in Minnesota, the state is reporting 513 new cases and 10 new deaths, bringing the death toll to more than 1,900. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has issued guidelines to help families stay safe this Halloween. And parents and kids, you may not like them. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard joins us live in studio to break down what they're saying. Callie?
Andrea, the guidelines rank the risk level of things like trick-or-treating and pumpkin carving. According to the CDC, many of them are considered a no-go. Families should avoid higher-risk activities like trick-or-treating or trunk-or-treating, going to a crowded indoor costume party or haunted house. It also is against hay rides with people who don't live with you. They also don't recommend traveling to a rural fall festival that's not in your community, and remind you that costume masks are not a replacement for face masks, and the two should not be used together because it can make it tough to breathe. And the CDC lists some lower risk activities, including pumpkin carving with family and friends outside at a safe distance. They also mentioned watching a costume or a Halloween movie at home or doing a virtual Halloween costume contest. Andrea?
All right, thanks, Callie. What are you planning for yourself and your kids this Halloween? Let us know on our Valley News Live Facebook page. A lot of people have already joined that conversation. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz stopped by a Moorhead Elementary School today as part of his effort to tour schools across the state. He visited outdoor classrooms and shared with kids and teachers how he was a fourth grade teacher. The governor also talked about the violence happening in the Twin Cities. According to a report from the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, Minnesota saw an increase in violent crimes last year.
Minnesotans and Americans in general, you deserve to feel safe in your community. Everybody safe across the spectrum. And when we're seeing spikes in this, we need to get at the heart of what's causing it. And then we need to make sure that those folks who are committing these crimes are caught, prosecuted, and of course, pay their debt to society.
The governor's next stop was St. Cloud. He stressed the need for Minnesotans to wear a mask and stay 6 feet apart to stop the spread of COVID-19. Still to come on Valley News Live at 5. Good news for the housing market as it rebounds from the pandemic.
And on this autumnal equinox, that sun rose exactly in the eastern sky. What a gorgeous start to our day. And we had summer-like temperatures this afternoon. Your hour-by-hour forecast, though, brings change. Details are straight ahead.